This video shows the simulated backtest results of the trading of Bitcoin based on the moving averages computed on its daily closing prices. This is a sequel to the Bitcoin long-term bullish trend analysis video that I had published on the OpLiveX channel yesterday, and the link is shown here, and I will also add it to the description. Same disclaimers apply as in the first part. This video is for educative purpose only, and the strategy illustrated in the video can incur losses, and everyone must trade at his own risk. This second part, as I said, is a sequel to the first part where we explained those moving averages and how we can use those signals to trade. And in this program, we show the backtest results of a quant trading program that implements a trading strategy based on the moving averages as explained in the first part of the video. In this video, on the right side, you see the chart of the Bitcoin all the way from year 2018 to the most latest date, which was November the 6th, 2025. Okay. Then you see the pivot marks, red and green, okay, on the chart. The red pivot marks the bearish crossovers, and the green pivots mark the bullish crossovers. Okay, so you sell upon the red pivot and you buy upon the green pivot. This is a long only quant trading program used to backtest this strategy, so it will not enter a short position. So it will be always a buy first followed by the sell. So I hope that is very clear. There is a buy, there is a sell, buy, there is a sell. And last there was a buy and we have not sold. It's open. Okay. The trade results are shown in the table on the top left corner of this video as I showed. And you see the buy and sell dates on which these pivots occurred and the corresponding closing prices. You can see the profit and loss for each of these trades. Okay, you bought at 5,532 and you sold at 9,259, a profit of 3,727. Okay, and this is the cumulative profit and loss, okay, for all the trades as you go through. Okay, you can see how we have developed. Take a bit of time to look at it. Okay, we are buying a single Bitcoin and selling a single Bitcoin. Okay, so after the quant program sells upon a bearish pivot, it waits for the bullish pivot again. Okay, so sometimes to get a bullish pivot after a bearish pivot, it is going to take some time. Okay, for example, the program sold on January the 14th, 2022 upon a bearish pivot. Okay, so where that is in this, right? This was the bearish pivot and it sold. When did it buy back? It buys back only on the February 7th, 2023. Okay, so it was nearly 1 year and 1 month, right? So you could ask, why so long? You know, I am a trigger happy person and I cannot wait for trading or buying the asset for 1 year and 1 month. If you are that kind of a person, this algorithm is not for you. Okay, why this slowness? That's the nature of this trading strategy, by intent. Okay, this trading strategy used by this quant program uses a 50-day SMA or simple moving average and a 200-day SMA. Okay, and 50-day SMA is considered as a faster signal and the 200-day SMA is considered as a slower moving average. So when the 50-day SMA crosses above the 200-day SMA, it is considered a bullish pivot where the green triangle is marked. And a red triangle is marked downward looking when the 50-day SMA moves below the 200-day SMA. Okay. So as you can see, we kept trading based on these rules. Okay. And we have one open position bought as of May 22nd. It has not been sold. Okay. As you can see, the program has provided a fair amount of success in trading a single Bitcoin in and out based on these completed trades. Okay. There were a total of 7 completed trades and 5 trades were profitable. The highest drawdown seen was about 34% in trading the Bitcoin. This happened during the COVID crash of the stock market and everything else along with it. Bitcoin was also seen as a risky asset and it was sold down really bad. It incurred a 34% loss if you had entered at $10,000 just a month ago. So this program can incur loss, because the rule is very simple. It is trading based on the pivots, right? So if the sell pivot occurred, it's going to sell. It doesn't care at what price you bought. Okay. But is it all bad? Perhaps not. Look at this trade. Okay. I'm going to illustrate how we avoided a big downturn by selling on this bearish pivot on the January of 2022. We all know what happened in the year 2022. There was a big bearish setup that happened in the first quarter started, and then we had downdraft on S&P and every risky asset, and Bitcoin was no exception to that. Okay. So if you didn't exit this around $43,000, sure, you incurred a $5,000, like about a 10-12% loss maybe on this trade. You exit. If you didn't cut that loss here based on this pivot, assume you held on to it. You held that position, long position. This would have gone down all the way to 18,000. So the trade actually cut it off much sooner because the program sold it at 43,000. If it had not, the asset would have gone down to 18,000. So it saved nearly $25,000 in losses. Okay. So the program helped here. The quant program with this strategy helped avoid this big downturn. Okay. Just take your time to look at this. This pivot helped avoid this big downdraft. And then we are buying, somewhere not at the lows, but in that vicinity. Again, we are buying back we sold at 43,000. The program helps you buy much lower. Sometimes it will buy higher, sometimes it will buy lower, depending on where the price level is. If it had a huge downdraft, you'll always be able to buy it cheaply. Okay. So that's what it did. It didn't buy at 18,000 level because by very nature of this, bullish setup has to come back for the pivot to arrive. Okay. So that's why you will never be able to buy at the low with this particular trading strategy. Okay. But I hope you understand the mechanics of it, how it worked, and how it helped avoid a major loss, at least in one case here. Okay. That's the power of moving average algorithms, especially when the price trends really well. When the price does not trend well, like for example, you had a bullish pivot immediately followed by a bearish pivot on a sideways movement, you could have whipsaws. And if the asset was holding on to moving sideways for a long time, over 5 years, you will have bullish pivot, bearish pivot, a lot of whipsaw, and your particular trading strategy will not work really well. You would like to have nice sloping trading averages, simple moving averages. That will help you identify good crossovers that can result in profitable trades or cut losses much sooner, like here. Okay. So with that said, okay, I hope you understand how this quant program does the back testing, okay, and logs the results, okay. And you can also appreciate, hopefully, how we arrive at this cumulative profits based on trading starting from April of 2019 till April of this year. The program logged nearly $60,000 of profits trading a single Bitcoin. Of course, if you had bought at 18,000 in 2018 and never sold, you would be in a much better position. But you would have, nerves of steel, right? If you can do that, right? So the idea of trading algorithms is to, somewhat give you an opportunistic entries and exits. But sometimes it would be best if you don't do anything. You buy an asset and you hold on to it. But that strategy can also sometimes result in nasty losses, because especially if the asset you bought keeps on losing money, unlike a Bitcoin. Despite it being a roller coaster, it has moved up really high from lows from few years ago, especially if you could get back on around 18,000 in the early 2023, right? Year 23, 24, end of 25. Now 18,000 became, at its peak this year it was 124, nearly a 10 bagger, right? So, of course we couldn't do that. We had this program only doesn't enter at the lowest, okay, and it always sells whenever it senses a bearish pivot. So it limited the profits, and sometimes it limited the losses. Okay. With that said, that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel. That will encourage me to publish more videos sharing my knowledge and experience in trading. And good luck to you all. Okay, see you in my next video. Thank you.